Alright, so if you checked it out earlier, most of you know that I broke my chain today. So we're gonna have to jump in here, remove the chain, put a new one on. Luckily I had one standing by. And there she is. Whoa, crazy. I was riding, just all of a sudden making this grinding noise. I was practicing 180s in the parking lot and went to ride away and snap, just heard this crunching noise, and sure enough. In order to fix this, we need to remove the back wheel, get the chain off, put a new one on, and then you know, go ahead and tighten everything back up and ride it around, see how she goes. So to get this done, you know, definitely gonna have to get the rear wheel off, and you're definitely gonna need a chain for popping your pins out of your chain and replacing it. I'm gonna replace it with the Shadow Interlock V2, and I'm gonna move it up a little bit just to keep it in good shape. It comes with instructions, they're really easy, but I'm gonna go ahead and kind of walk through the entire thing. All right, so here's our brake. What we want to do is we want to find the part in the chain with, there's going to be like a pin sticking out slightly this way, and that's the master pin, and that's the one we want to use to take the chain apart once we get the rear wheel off and stuff. By the way, you're definitely going to want like rags and stuff out here, because this is like one of the dirtiest parts of your bike. Let's see if we can find that piece. There it is. So right here, you can see that pin sticks out. We want to find that when we get the chain off, because we put the breaker in through that way and it pops that pin out. That's basically the master pin. So let's get this rear wheel off. Now normally, like if I'm in a rush, I kind of half-ass it, and wherever that broken link is, I would see if I could just pop it off the other pin and get my chain off here. But since I'm kind of showing you how to do it the proper way, we're gonna go ahead and put the tool on here, pop that pin out, and get this chain. All right, so in this chain, you wanna start from the actual end that's popping out, line up your pin, and go ahead and turn the handle, and it'll pop the pin out the other side, and you can break your chain. And let's do that. When you get about to here, you'll feel it get like a little tight again. It's not that it's hard and you can't get it out. Don't push it any further, because that means it's to the other mushroomed out part, and you don't want to push this pin all the way out. Well, that's if your chain is still good. This one's broken, so it kind of doesn't matter. But yeah, never push it all the way out. And there we go. Chain is off, and we're gonna go ahead and line up the pins and everything and pretty much do the reverse with this chain, but we're gonna have to measure it first. And one of the things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my wheelbase, when I do it this time, I'm gonna make the chain a little tight when I first put it on, because I want my wheelbase in a little bit. This chain's gonna stretch over time, and I want room to pull my wheel back to tighten my chain. So let's go ahead and work on the other chain. These are the instructions that the Shadow Interlock comes with. This is like the best chain on the market. If you don't have the Shadow chain tool, it's fine. The Park one works fine. Or on my old 90s Haro, I used to have to use this one because basically I had a gate closing chain on my bike, and I could nail that thing a million times on grinds and would never break that chain. But it stripped out a small one like this, and I had to use an actual motorcycle chain breaker to break that chain. So yeah, I have two different ones. Big beefy chains, regular BMX chains. Also, while I have everything apart, I take my time and wipe everything down, get all the gunk out of there and clean it while I have the opportunity. And everything in here too. Just kind of get in and get the spots that I don't usually get to. Cleaned up my hub a little bit and my free coaster. So let's get this chain measured. So as you can see, there's going to be significant overlap. So I'm going to have to break the chain somewhere down here and get this thing measured up. So as you can see, this chain will not fit in this chain breaker. It's too thick. I'm going to have to use a big dog over here. So yeah, using this bigger one, you have to line it up a little bit better, but it's cool because these pins have little divots in them that help line it up. And you want to put like an Allen wrench or something on the other side and just twist, and it'll push this thing completely through. Right. Don't go all the way through, just break. So what happened is when I went to pull this back out and break the chain so that I have what I want over here and get this thing off my change hole, it got stuck in this last piece here and it was really hard to get out, plus because I ran out of thread and it wouldn't go any further back. So I have these things. It's for doing fittings, but what you can do is put this around your problem and it kind of plugs that and it gives me some distance, you know, like so that I can actually get some more rotations on it and pull it back out of the link plate here. So, but you can get these anywhere, like AutoZone, stuff like that, and it's for pulling hoses off of fittings. You snap it onto stuff and you push in and it undoes a fitting and you take the whole piece off. But it works great for getting a link out of here, so that's what I use them for too. And I have, of course, had to get a 14mm wrench to get some power on that. And yeah, but we got it. And we have our chain over here. We're gonna go ahead and get it on, make sure everything measures up. Let's go. And until you get your chain on, you know, and hold your rear wheel, you know, and you want to feed everything and it keeps sliding out, you can just bump it up against something. That's like a little home tip. Just kind of put your back wheel in there before you put your chain on. Back it up against something so it doesn't slide out. You can put your chain on with both your hands. Tiny tip. Now, we're gonna go ahead and put the chain on, but you wanna take this opportunity while you have everything apart to go ahead and wipe everything down, clean everything up, and then go ahead and get everything together. So, everything fits, but like I said, I want a little bit more axle. Normally this is how I would ride, like after it stretches, but I want it kind of in a little bit more, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove one more link. That should do us. And all right, so I removed that extra link there, got rid of it, and then I went ahead and matched it up, pushed the pin through. And what you want to do is you want to push this pin and put enough on it that eventually you hear a click once it passes the other side. And I tightened it and I heard like a little snap, like a little click noise. I stopped. So now I'm just going to back this thing out, put the chain back on, and we should be in business. And that's it right there. You can see it comes out both sides and it sticks out a little bit further than all the other ones. So that's my master pin. That's the one you always want to use when you break your chain. So got it on, fits nicely. I got my axle where I want it, not right at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing her back together. So now that I'm gonna tighten up my rear wheel, this is all I do. I just stick the socket in there and I hold with my thumb like this and just hold it center. Tighten each side with my hand, and then you'll notice when you tighten one side it wants to go this way, and you'll tighten the other side and it'll go that way, back and forth as you tighten each side. Doing it like this, you kind of get to keep it like right in the middle. So let's tighten everything up. All right, so I tightened up everything in the back. Chain's extra tight. And then, yeah, everything moves freely. I don't have any brake rub. sure. And nothing's rubbing. All right. So, I guess I got a rider real quick. Everything's tight. Reassemble the brakes. Chain's really tight. And I didn't do my pins, you know, on the inside like I was kind of thinking of doing that. It's like a natural spacer and everything, but it's tight enough. If I feel like doing it later, I'll just switch them. And plus I got nice grind spots going on, and I don't want to mess that up. They're nice and broke in. So, all right, let's give it a ride. So that worked great. And we'll go ahead and clean up, and I'll work on another tutorial for everybody. Have a good one.